In other news now, the Supreme Court will hear the CBI's bail plea tomorrow. In fact, plea tomorrow, I beg your pardon, challenging the bail that was granted to former MLA Kuldeep Singh Sengar in the Unnao rape case. This is going to be a special sitting of the Supreme Court bench. The CBI moved the top court against the Delhi High Court order that suspended Sengar's life sentence and allowed him bail during the pendency of his appeal. The CBI has argued that Sengar misused his position of authority, influencing witnesses and intimidating the survivor and her family. As the legal battle shifts to the Supreme Court, the Unnao rape survivor has expressed hope for justice, saying she has faith in the apex court. She also said the CBI acted too late, insists that Sengar's bail should never have been granted. The High Court had ruled that Sengar was not a public servant under the POCSO Act, and now all the attention and focus will be on what the Supreme Court decides tomorrow.
न्याय की मेरी यही मांग है कि मुझे सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे भरोसा है कि मुझे न्याय देगा, और मैं अपने साथ में हर बहन बेटियों की आवाज उठा रही हूँ ताकि हर बहन बेटियों को हमारे से न्याय मिले।
मैम, एसएलपी भी सीबीआई द्वारा डाली गई है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, क्या कुछ आप देख रहे हैं? सीबीआई जिस तरीके से रुख कर रही है इस केस में, जिस तरीके से रुख कर रही है, एसएलपी डाली, अगर
ये चीज पहले करती तो मुझे न्याय मिलता, उनकी बेल खारिज होती, ताकि हमारे साथ उन्होंने गलत किया, रेप किया, उसके बाद मेरे पिता को मार दिया, परिवार की सुरक्षा हटा दी, पैरोकारों की गवाहों की सुरक्षा हटा दी, जो मेरे केस में खास इम्पोर्टेंट जमानत ले रखा है, उनको खतरा बना हुआ है हर तरीके से। मेरे बच्चे हैं, मेरे हस्बैंड की जॉब छूट गई है, नौकरी से निकाल दिया गया, मेरे बच्चे असुरक्षित घर में पड़े हैं, क्योंकि खतरा बढ़ा, अगर उनको दबाना होगा तो मेरे बच्चे उठा लेंगे।
Now, earlier I spoke to former Supreme Court Judge Justice Markande Karju, who has actually argued that the High Court bail sentence suspension for Kuldeep Sengar was actually correct, and he says we cannot make this a media trial. Joined by Justice Markande Karju, former Supreme Court judge, who actually, sir, you've written an article in which you have argued that you support the High Court's decision in the Sengar matter, the granting of bail and the suspending of his life sentence. But now that the CBI itself has challenged the Delhi High Court's bail sentence suspension, doesn't that show that even the prosecutors believe that this relief to Sengar was wrong?
May I ask you whether you have even fully read the order of the Delhi High Court?
Sir, I have, and it's based on a technicality. But yes, go ahead.
Now listen to me. Firstly, it is not that Sengar has not spent any time in jail. He has spent more than 8 years in jail. He was arrested in July 2017. Since then, he has been jailed for 8.5 years. So it is not that he has not spent time in jail. Secondly, this order of the High Court is an interim order. It is not a final judgment. The case is still pending. And the bench has not gone into the merits of the case, in the sense that it has not considered whether Sengar is guilty of the offense or not, whether that girl, whether she is below 18 or above 18, although they have mentioned that there's strong evidence that she was above 18. However, what the bench has really said is that the question is whether an MLA is a public servant within the meaning of the POCSO Act, that is the Prevention of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Now, the trial court has held that an MLA is a public servant. But the High Court has pointed out that he is not a public servant under the POCSO Act. You see, the POCSO Act does not define the expression public servant, but it mentions that words and expressions not defined in this Act will have the same meaning as in the Indian Penal Code. That is mentioned in Section 2, Clause 2 of the POCSO Act. So in the Indian Penal Code, in Section 21, it is a list of people who are deemed to be public servants is given. MLA is not one of them. MLA is not one of them. And in the case of Antule's case, A.R. Antule's case, Supreme Court has said that MLA is not a public servant for the purpose of the Indian Penal Code. Now, Section 5C of the POCSO Act says that if he is a public servant, then it is an aggravated sexual offense and he can be sentenced to life imprisonment. But when he is not a public servant, at least as defined in the POCSO Act, then you can't send him to life imprisonment. That is what the
All
Delhi High
right,
Court
sir.
is
So
saying.
you've explained the technicalities here. In your article that I've read, you also said media adds mirch masala and you're uncomfortable with this, trial by media. But isn't outrage the natural response when an accused politician is getting relief? Let's face it, that nobody else would get. You say he spent 7-8 years in jail, but should a rapist be released even if he spent 7-8 years in jail? And if an MLA is not a public servant under POCSO, this is again some loophole. It's a technicality. And shouldn't we be angry about this instead of defending it and justifying it? And it goes to show that the CBI is also approaching the Supreme Court, and this involves a minor being raped. So, rapists getting out on a technicality, I mean, it's outrageous.
He has spent 8.5 years in jail. And in India, cases take a long time to decide. Supposing the appeal takes another 10 years to decide. And after 10 years, if he has spent 18 years in jail, and supposing the appeal is allowed and it is found that the judgment of the trial court is wrong, who will restore 18 years of his life? Either the appeal will be ultimately allowed by the Delhi High Court or it will be dismissed by the Delhi High Court. Now, if it is dismissed, he will have to go back to jail again. It is not that he is permanently free. The appeal is yet to be decided. But if the appeal is allowed and the judgment is set aside, then who will restore 18 years of his life? See, there are cases, you may be knowing many cases, particularly of Muslims, where people who have spent 23 years in jail were found innocent.
Right,
who
sir.
will restore 23 years of their... So a balance has to be struck. The Delhi High Court has struck a balance that he has already spent 8.5 years in jail. We are releasing him on bail, but the appeal is still pending. So,
well, the matter will now be brought before the Supreme Court, sir. We'll have to leave it there. I'm out of time, but do remember he's a convicted rapist. He is a powerful person. I have never heard of anyone else who's convicted under POCSO having his sentence suspended just after spending 7-8 years. He's not done us a favor by spending 7-8 years.
No, you should be the judge.
He deserves to be in jail if he's convicted of rape. And we'll have to leave it there. But thank you so much for joining us. I did let you make your point. You explained the technicalities quite extensively. Thank you, Justice Markandeya Katju there for joining us on the... All right, so that was the former Supreme Court Justice saying that on the technicality front that, Sengar, that what the High Court decided was correct. But again, it is something the CBI has now challenged and will be approaching the Supreme Court tomorrow. Remember, Supreme Court is on holiday, so it is a special bench. It's a special sitting, rather, of the Supreme Court that will be taking up this matter of the bail and suspension of the sentence that has been granted to Kuldeep Singh Sengar, who remains a very powerful politician. He's no longer in the BJP, but his influence is known in the area. He was a former MLA, and remember, the rape survivor has been completely, thrown off kilter by these turn of events. The fact that he was granted bail and his sentence was suspended in the first place, and she has been protesting. The other outrageous events that have taken place is how the rape survivor was prevented from protesting in Delhi from India Gate and was picked up later by the CRPF as well. Well, let's go across to Yogita Bhayana, who joins us, activist who's been seen at the side of the Unnao rape survivor, who's been, helping her in her quest for justice. Yogita, I don't know how much of Justice Markandeya Katju's interview you heard. He was actually arguing, and I have to pose this to you, that based on the technicality and, the definition of a public servant in the POCSO Act, that the Delhi High Court was correct in its decision of suspending the sentence, and, and then we saw bail also being granted to Sengar.
So I heard him briefly towards the end, and whatever I could make out from that I think he has not read the order, and I think he's not aware about the case fully. However, I thought he would be aware. I think he's still talking about the penancies and the trials. I think he's missing the point that he was a convicted rapist in the lower court, and he got the bail on pretext of being not a public servant and that points here. So I think he should read the entire case properly, maybe know the case properly. I think then he should be making comments. However, there is some missing link, whatever I could get towards the end. So that's the key point. He's a convicted rapist. So any convicted rapist, for that matter, getting away on bail or whatever pretext, you might find any loopholes in the law, and setting them free without serving the full sentence. I think this is the reason why we are fighting for it. We are not fighting for anything else. We are not fighting that he's a rape accused and he has not got convicted. We are fighting for someone who's got convicted and still being let out on the pretext of few legal lacunas.
That's right. And in fact, I did argue with Justice Karjo, and he actually wanted to debate with you, Yogita. But I did argue that, shouldn't we be outraged that because of a technicality, because of a loophole, a rapist could just be let out of jail? What does it mean for the safety of women? And the fact that we have seen the rape survivor, protesting again and again. Now our hopes are pinned on the Supreme Court.
The idea is we should ask these questions to the people who are objecting to his bail, and people especially like him. He has a great stature. I have a lot of respect for him because we have spoken on many issues together, and definitely in this particular case he has not read it properly. If he reads properly, I think I'm getting a lot of calls from judicial officers, serving judicial officers of kind of his colleagues also. Everybody's objecting to it, and they are also like not aligned to the whole thing.
Right, and Yogita, we cannot ignore the fact
there
that
is some
Sengar
missing link here.
That Sengar remains somebody who is very powerful, and and as I pointed out to Justice Karjo, I don't think I've ever heard of somebody who's convicted of rape, getting a suspended sentence mid-sentence. So we cannot ignore the fact that he remains a very powerful person, and the rape survivor has had a really tough battle, to even get that conviction in the first place.
So even I never heard about suspension of the sentence of any rape accused or the convicted. But recently I got to know this is very regular High Court practice, which was a shock to me also. Some of the people from judiciary only told me that this is a very regular practice in High Court. So if it is the case, then we need to really look up to it in terms of we need to deal with it. I even benefit of doubt to a murderer and the serious charges of rapes and gang rapes, they should not be given such kind of advantage. If at all they are thinking that they have a lot of pendency or whatever XYZ reasons, they can go for smaller crimes, but not the serious crimes like rapes and gang rapes and murders, So I think there are issues. I think we should speak to the law minister and see to deal with it. There is no alignment of judicial officers on this. There is some kind of a missing gap between the dialogues, the stakeholders. They need to come together and deal with it. So problem is that in India we sleep over things and we think, okay, it's not my job. Everybody thinks it's take it easy, but who suffers? The victim suffers. So if there is any missing link like that, I think people like you and I, we should take this up.
It's for the media, for the activists to take this up, that there is a lacuna in the law, that there is a loophole, a technicality over which people are getting away or getting some, freedom, for such serious crimes. Thank you so much, Yogita, for joining us. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will take up the appeal of the CBI against the bail to Sengar.